Welcome, gang. This is your host, S.W. Griffin of the Hear Me Out podcast. We're going to be talking about Ryan Clark of ESPN and Robert Griffin III, who used to be a host on ESPN, but now he has his own podcast. And Robert Griffin III said that WNBA basketball player Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, the three-pointing superstar in the WNBA. And Robert Griffin III's comments pretty much upset Ryan Clark, and he made some disturbing comments about RWG3. And here's what he brought up that was so mystifying why it was even a part of the conversation. Ryan Clark said RG3 in his household probably doesn't have conversations of what the average black woman goes through in America because he's married to a white woman. In fact, he said both of his wives, he's been married twice and both were to white women. So he probably doesn't have conversations in his household about what black women go through in America on a daily basis. Now, I don't know why he made that statement. It has nothing to do with the fact that Angel Reese is black and Caitlin Clark is white. It's basketball, and you're going to have enemies in basketball because you're playing for two different things. You can be sure that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't like the Baltimore Ravens and vice versa. The Baltimore Ravens don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is sports. There's no war there. There was no harm there. What happened was Caitlin Clark committed a flagrant foul against Angel Reese. It's what they call a take foul. She was on her way to the basket to make an easy layup, and Caitlin Clark fouled her. That's basketball. All teams do this. They force that player not to go to the basket and get an easy back bucket, and they force them to make those 2 points at the free throw line. Make them earn them. So everybody looked at this play as if Caitlin Clark was being racist towards Angel Reese because she committed a hard foul. But last year, 17% of all fouls, flagrant fouls, were committed against one person. That was Caitlin Clark, a white girl. And 80% of those fouls committed against Caitlin Clark was the Chicago Sky, which Angel Reese plays for. In one of the games last year, in 2024, Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese's teammate, walked up to Caitlin Clark on an inbound pass before the pass was inbounded and body checked her and knocked her to the ground. It was a flagrant foul away from the ball. It was called. And when Kennedy Carter knocked Caitlin Clark to the ground, Angel Reese was on the sidelines at the time, and she got up out of her seat and started clapping. So that's a good indication that she doesn't like Caitlin Clark. That's a very good indication. But why did Ryan Clark bring up RG3's two marriages to white women? What does that have to do with him saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? Well, we're going to get into that today. There's a reason for it, and we're going to talk about it real fast. Let's get busy. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the like and subscribe button, please.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. And so now, if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her...
Okay, I went on ahead and played the clip by Ryan Clark so you can get a real good understanding of what he said about RG33 and him being married to white women and not having those conversations in his house because he's married to white women. But it's ironic how hypocritical some people can be, because ESPN's Ryan Clark went all in on Robert Griffin III for saying Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark as if he had committed the unforgivable sin. RG3's comments were sports related. We could say and have said that the Pittsburgh Steelers hate the Baltimore Ravens and the Baltimore Ravens hate the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. The fact that Angel Reese is Black and Caitlin Clark is white doesn't mean that there's a race war. It simply means Angel Reese dislikes Caitlin Clark because she believes Caitlin Clark is superior to her in her basketball skills. So why would Ryan Clark bring up RG3 III's wife and say that he doesn't know what Black women go through on a daily basis because his wife is white and they don't have those conversations in his home? That's a crazy assumption. And bringing up RG3 has been married twice and both to white women. So that means what? Have you ever heard of the term overcompensating for something? It may be that Ryan Clark is overcompensating by bringing up RG3 III's white wife because Ryan Clark, guessed it, here it is, Ryan Clark has a child by a white girl. Now he's married to a Black woman and needs to throw shade at RG3 because if anyone brings it up that he has a mixed child by a white girl, at least he can say, yeah, I got a child by a white girl, but at least I wasn't dumb enough to marry that white bitch. My wife is Black. RG3 married 2 white women. I'm not like him. He's saying that so that he can get Black people, especially Black women, on his side so that they can hate along with him so that he can say that he's not like RG3 even though he has a mixed baby by a white girl. So that's just kind of strange to me. What he's saying is, I didn't marry the white girl I had a baby with. So when Ryan Clark sent the tweet on Twitter, he knew what he said. When he said he knew what he said and why he said it and who it was intended for, paraphrased, he meant it. Now, I'm going to say this. I am not a racist. I have dated white women and on a personal level, I enjoy white women and would marry a white woman. If you are a black woman and you're listening to this, and if you want to marry a white man or a Latino man, go ahead. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And it shouldn't matter to you either. See, there's no shame in my game, but evidently there's some retrospective shame in Ryan Clark's game, having a mixed child and attacking RG3 for marrying two white women. He claimed that RG3 used to joke about, and you heard the part, used to joke about liking milk, referring to white women, as if the color of his wife's white skin is what made her special. I don't think that is it all. But have you ever heard of the term latency? Latency is the delay before a transfer of data begins following instructions for its transfer. It seems to me that Ryan Clark is experiencing a latency of guilt and buyer's remorse from having a child by a white lady after marrying or transferring his now allegiance to a black lady. And he has to prove to his black wife and black women everywhere, I don't like vanilla ice cream anymore. I don't eat it anymore. I only eat chocolate ice cream. I like chocolate milk. I want some chocolate cake with some chocolate chip cookies. That's a serious case of overcompensating for the past, isn't it? Robert Griffin III, you don't have anything to be ashamed about just because you married a white woman. And allow Ryan Clark to try to bring it out like it's some mark against you is irrelevant, because what we know, Ryan Clark has a mixed child by a white woman. So therefore, he likes milk too. He just doesn't, or at least at one time, he liked milk too. He liked vanilla ice cream too. And he dipped in that vanilla ice cream and had a baby by that vanilla woman, that white woman. He likes vanilla wafers. He dipped in the vanilla milk, the vanilla ice cream, the white milk, the vanilla wafers. And now he's trying to prove to the world, since he's married to a black woman, that he no longer likes white women. He has to prove to his black wife on a daily basis that he has no more desire for white women. That's why he made that statement. He's walking on eggshells every day in his own household because he has an older daughter that is a mixed black child from a white lady in his past, and he has to prove to his black wife and black women everywhere that I don't roll like that no more. I don't like dipping my thing in white women no more. It happened, but at least I didn't marry a white woman like RG3 did. This is where this stupid stuff is coming from. It's coming from the latency of the transfer of his allegiance to his black wife and trying to prove to black women everywhere that he is no longer like that. Well, sir, you've got a mixed child from a white woman that will forever remind you that you once liked milk too. You once liked vanilla ice cream too. You once liked vanilla wafers too. You got a baby to prove it. So quit being a hypocrite. Quit being a hypocrite. Isn't it ironic? We need to play Alanis Morissette's song right now. It's ironic because it's like good advice. This is good advice, Ryan Clark, that you need to take. Quit being a hypocrite. You once liked vanilla ice cream, vanilla milk, white milk, vanilla wafers too. You could say that you had a taste for white chocolate. You like white chocolate, my man. You like vanilla ice cream at one time till you got a baby to prove it. Just shut the hell up. You are a hypocrite, sir. You're a hypocrite. And you brought all that stuff up because you're married to a black woman now, and you had to prove every day on a daily basis that you no longer have the desire to be with a white woman. What a miserable existence that is. That's a miserable existence, walking on eggshells like that. That's my take on it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if you're a black woman and you're watching this and you want to marry a white guy, go ahead. If you want to marry a Latino guy, go ahead. If you can find an Asian guy that like you, go ahead. I could care less. But I'm not going to worry about what you think of me if I marry a white woman. Do you understand where? Because I could care less too. I could care less too. That's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Be blessed. God bless you, and keep the peace.
If you only knew what I have in store